We're ready.
All right.
So guys, I'm here with Chris Mahler, who is I'll call you a writer, blogger in the game world.
Sure.
And so we were talking earlier because we had lunch and talking about everything under the sun gaming because he's educating me on the whole world. I'm fascinated by how fast its changes, especially we were talking about how like the kind of the new thing now is the influencer, the gamer themselves. It used to be it was the developer, the coder, and the company, EA, had all this power, and now it's the leverage of the gamer, and now that's like growing all the time. Like you've probably seen huge growth in that.
Yeah, and that even I think would be a little bit of an understatement. Just it's kind of exponential in scope, which is impressive, but also kind of fun to watch.
Yeah.
So, yeah, and I guess the platform that's really focused on is Twitch TV. You can kind of go from, for lack of a better analogy, zero to hero, depending on how you present yourself, how you are on camera, and how entertaining you are, and how people like to watch you.
Yeah.
You just kind of go from here all the way to here, not necessarily overnight, but with a steady stream schedule and an idea of what an audience wants to watch. The sky's the limit, and that's actually really not even hyperbole.
So what's neat is you've got just the fans that are watching, which is also a weird thing now, right? Like there's a growing number of fans that will show up in a stadium and watch gamers. Like for somebody in my generation, that's very bizarre. That's really strange, but I'm fascinated that it's even happening because it's like, this great lean into an industry that probably didn't exist, very few years ago. So it's really exciting. And where do you think that's going to go? Because I think it's, you can see like the players, but like the fan push, that's really fascinating.
Yeah, so I think one thing that's interesting to see is if everyone remains on Twitch as a platform. There's a lot of people who love the platform, a lot of people who hate it, a lot of people who stream exclusively on Facebook, a lot of people who stream exclusively on YouTube. So what will end up being the platform of choice is interesting to think about, or if there's something new that might maybe overtake it.
Right. And do you see anything like at the street level that people are creating on their own? Because it's now you don't really necessarily need the gatekeepers like you do. If there was 15 guys that love something, they could just go in the garage and create it.
You know what? It's interesting that you worded street level because not only, Twitch is another example. People aren't just streaming their games; they're streaming themselves. They're the content. They are,
the brand, right?
Yeah, they're the brand.
They're basically the brand.
They are running through the streets of Tokyo. They are exploring, different cities. They travel for a living, making this content, shooting themselves, doing anything. There's somebody I follow who is going to New Zealand, just to what the term is IRL stream. That's the category on Twitch. So the content is them as a personality with someone else who is an additional personality. Both of them streaming in New Zealand, doing anything they feel like. For 2 weeks.
Yeah. So I've been wanting to sit down with you for a long time because I knew you were in college and you came out with a marketing degree. I knew you and your brother were both into games and animation.
Right.
Your brother's probably more animation, right? Like anime.
That's a good way to describe it.
And so when you talk about the brand and like my selfish needs, the first thing I do is I give you a shirt and I ask you when you're going to Comic-Con, right? Yeah. Because what I want to do is I want to reach your fan base, but I don't know them, so I reach out to you. Yeah. You're going. Him and I are going to either collab on a design of a shirt or something like that. We're talking about creating something that doesn't exist yet. Just kind of exciting because I want to make sure that it's not just interesting to wear, but like I love this the real. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like again, talking about the street level, there's this approval that happens at the street level that that can't be monetized yet. Yeah. And so I love where that's going. We were talking about Bape. Not that long ago, where that's going. So, as a designer, I'm leaning into that a lot and thinking about what that audience will respond to. So, hopefully, you and I get something brand new. I would love that. Yeah. And then you're going. Tell me your list of events you're planning to this year.
So, as of right now, Comic-Con 50th anniversary is going to be in July. Anime Expo is always the weekend preceding July 4th or after July 4th. Schedule it. Evolution 2019 is a fighting game tournament hosted in Las Vegas every year. I don't know if I'll be able to attend that, but that's something I would certainly be interested in. I went, I believe, in 2016, 2017. A lot of fun. And then, whatever else comes up, maybe WonderCon's on the horizon, maybe it's not. That's another one, I believe, towards the fall.
Yes.
So, or actually, no, I apologize. That's in May. So.
And then the Vineyard UNC.
Yes, yes, that's
We
correct.
just
So what
discovered
we
that.
just learned about,
Yeah. So that's another one. And so there's all this content out there. There's this stuff that we're aware of that everybody's watching on the major platforms.
Yeah.
But, sure, there's all this stuff bubbling up from corners or not even aware of it.
Oh yeah, of course. And we're just talking about that. So.
And do you see like a big regional influencer, for example, is there really super interesting things coming out of Japan that everybody's watching, or is it really Southern California? What do you see there?
So, well, it's interesting that you bring that up. Insofar as live streaming goes, Japan kind of has their own service. It's called Nikon, and that's primarily what events or people will stream through. It's not exclusive by any means. Twitch still exists in Japan, it's just on a smaller scale, so it necessarily is represented. And insofar as people coming out of it, it's so diverse. It's almost overwhelming because you can go one day think you know all the popular people, and the next day, oh, this person has 10,000 viewers. They're walking around the streets of wherever in the world that they feel like being, and then all of a sudden, an entire other world of this little corner of the internet isn't so weird.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's crazy to think about, and these people are, for lack of a better term, internet celebrities, but they have such an incredible following, and that following, is not only their social presence, it's their merchandise that they're selling through a third party on the internet. It's their videos that they've hired an editor to make on their YouTube that consist of stream highlights. So,
which was going to be my next thing that I was going to ask you
Yeah.
is where do you see the monetization? Like, are you seeing people like new influencers coming up, creating a new monetizing plan, or is everybody sort of chasing the same thing? Or?
So I wouldn't necessarily say that everyone's chasing the same thing, but one thing that's been happening is we go from Twitch following, Twitch influencer, and then we go, esports brand or company reaching out to these people. They become either a brand ambassador or they stream under a banner.
Oh.
So, for example, recently Magic the Gathering put out a new online video game, a version of their tabletop card game, and people who had been streaming on Twitch playing the old sort of antiquated version of that Magic Online, and Tempo sort of reached out and said, hey, we think what you guys are doing is cool, stream under our banner, and I'm assuming there's some sort of, without knowing the intricacies of it, there's a salary attached to it and some sort of contract similar to being signed as an esports professional, but their content is at home. I'm the personality on the stream.
Yeah, and the expectation is that you would be, as that person, you would be on social media.
Very, very much so.
Talking, making sure that's all on top.
Yes.
That's cool. Very cool. And so what's because you tell them where you are, where your blog is. Like, where can they find it?
Sure. So WordPress site.com or on Twitter @Cronus with a 0 instead of an O. And that's where I'll primarily post my work. Additionally, new to Instagram on Instagram.com/ChronoChris.
Cool. And so in terms of stuff that you're thinking about writing this year, what are the most interesting things? Or
So one thing that's I think has been kind of a long time coming is we talked about Comic-Con briefly.
Yeah.
I've been attending since 2011 or 2012, and through the repetition of being there so many years in a row, excluding 2017, I think I've attained an interesting sort of perspective on not only how the events run, but kind of how to attend, how to get in, because that's its own excitement, and how to kind of make the most out of your trip.
oh wow.
Because their reach is so interesting, and no one attendee is really like the other. You kind of have this intensely wide demographic of, hey, let's take our kids, we're San Diego locals, to, hey, we're coming across the country to go to this event because the biggest names are here and only here and staying in San Diego. So I think sort of putting my experience into a guide that can either give people insight or give people a way to get the most out of it or just enjoy it. You know, maybe the first timers, maybe the veterans, like myself. I think that's been a long time coming. I'm hoping to have that out, as well as some stories from past events that I thought were a lot of fun. Well before, ahead of time. So before July.
That's cool. That's really exciting. That's a great idea, actually, because you can give that perspective that a lot of people couldn't when they were there once or twice.
Yeah, and I mean, I've interacted with event staff and booth staff, and I've attended really high-profile panels. I've gotten to be in the room with some of my childhood heroes, so to speak, and people who just kind of do amazing work. Andre Romano from the VO industry, Bruce Tim from animation, and Scott Snyder from comic books. So I've had the very awesome fortune of being able to interact with some of these people, or just to listen to them speak or have very brief conversations.
Yeah.
So, adjacently to talking about the event itself, stories from what you actually get in such a cool event, I think have been a long time.
Yeah, it's funny because I read, and this is probably old news to you, but I read in there, and I think it was the Times a few years ago, that the actual train ride-up was a scene. Like it's a big mixing, interworking, meet and greet.
Yeah. It's funny because you talk about the event itself. It's so much more than just the convention center. It's really most of downtown. It affects the restaurants. There are all kinds of people on the sidewalk, HBO, like Adult Swim. These companies don't really do this too much anywhere else because Comic-Con sort of achieved this incredible scope. It has that kind of good fortune to bring it to the city instead of just attendees.
That's crazy. And so as a fan, like you're a hardcore fan, what are some of the things that you saw that you're not wild about? Because everybody talks about the over-commercialization, big studios coming in, things like that. Do you feel a loss there? Or?
I think something that's interesting is that if you're going and you tell yourself, I'm just going to go, I'm going to have fun, that's awesome, enjoy yourself, but I think that you have to be very goal-oriented in how you approach it. Reason being is I'm going to get this number. I blow this number a little bit out of proportion.
We'll correct
300,000. 300,000 plus, people just in the vicinity.
Yeah. So
when you think to yourself, I think it'd be cool to meet this person. That's awesome. 5,000 people minimum have that exact same idea, and not your competition, but you have to plan around that. So when you see, I've been in line before it, in the morning, and there's a local news station. When'd you line up? And that's kind of like a novelty story, right, or something interesting. And it's like, it's intense that people line up that early, but at the same time, they know if they don't, that they have something in mind that they can see or something they want to meet, something, get an autograph, attend the panel.
It's a whole experience.
It is, and I think kind of giving people some more details about how to approach that might help them get more out of it, because I know that I've missed things just being blindsided by I thought getting here was the idea, and it's like, well, actually the people who got here at 11:30 after dinner last night, they're a little ahead of you.
So. I heard, I don't know if it was Comic-Con or like a large conference like this, there's somebody trying to sort of hack that approach and like how to get in front of people.
Yeah.
And he goes to Starbucks in the morning and he buys all their baked goods.
Yeah.
He buys all of them and he sits in a corner and he puts them on the table. And so when everybody's walking in, there's no baked goods, and he gives them out. And in the process of giving them out, he gets to introduce himself to everybody. And it's the 3 or 4 key people that he wanted to meet, or at least that were close to that person.
Yeah.
He got that introduction.
That's very cool. That's very, very smart.
So it's always like this imagination about how to hack the system, because there's like sort of the basic knowledge that we have of how to get through the gate, and then it's like, okay, well, if that's not going to work, what are you going to do?
Exactly. And people have kind of centered their content around, my name's Daniel Radcliffe, I played Harry Potter, I'm dressing as Spider-Man today, no one knows who I am, I'm walking through the convention center, and here's a video out of it. Or, right, I think a few years ago, Bryan Cranston dressed up as himself, and then he walks into a panel, takes off his mask, and, oh, by the way, I'm actually again, not sure if it was actually, but these kind of things that only happen at Comic-Con, I guess. events.
Yeah.
And you know, you see people, you know, photographers especially and video content creators, just in the lobbies in the front of the building, and they're extremely high-profile cosplays, or you know, this whole kind of ecosystem of just people who look awesome attending the event, being photographed, and people having their business cards. So it's kind of everything and more. Comic-Con's just the name now. Comics have a very large presence, but Marvel's there, DC Comics is there, HBO, you know, everyone's here, Nintendo's here, Blizzard is here.
There's just no way to avoid that anytime.
No, not at all.
That's very cool.
But yeah, and you know, that doesn't dilute the experience. I think it just enriches it. Maybe some people agree, but I think to have that breadth has helped it.
Yeah, that's amazing. Well, I've never been, so maybe one day I'll go out with you and we'll tag team it and create content together. But I'll put down the links to find you. You guys know where to find me because you're watching it. And that's it. So we'll see you next time. Thank you, man.
Yeah, of course.
Thank you for having a great afternoon.
Yeah.
Take care.